Very, very powerful last hour. And Mike, I'm really glad that you're saying now you're going to start doing more interviews again, and that you'll, do live in the area some of the time, so that you'll be able to pop by and be part of the whole INFOWARS team as somebody contributing here. And I'm just so glad that Dr. Group got us back in touch. You got so focused for years, though, on those labs, so it's good to have you back.
We're rolling out a lab certification program for products. You know, you might be interested in that. We talk about it later, but we want to help independent media certify their products are clean as a form of self-defense. Because, you know, you've been falsely accused, Ed's been falsely accused, we've all been falsely accused. There are a lot of fraudulent labs out there that are not accredited. We can fight against them with our accreditation and our certified results. So that's a lot of my focus.
Well, that's the thing. BuzzFeed bought a bunch of our products, tested them, said they were what they were, and were clean, and they hated it. And then we have we have labs test all our stuff, and then of course they say if they leave the top open in one of the cans for 10 minutes, that then you won't pass California standards, and then you didn't pass, we're suing you, and it's a Democrat Party group. I mean,
and meanwhile they're pushing psychiatric drugs for your 6-month-old infant. You know, they're poisoning your kids, and they're attacking nutrition. The kids need nutrition. You know, so our focus is science at this point. You know, I'm probably not going to be like a political guest for you, but a science guest. Sorry, my earpiece keeps popping out here. But science is our focus, and we are accredited, and we tell the truth.
No, and I think that's great. And I've been totally focused on the nationalism, the return of sovereignty. When I used to be maybe that 30%, and I was trying to wake folks up to other topics. I'm just trying to defend Trump because I know he's not perfect, but he's real. The globalists hate him. And now it's not like we're over the hump yet, but I now think that we can start shifting back into education, just about all the other systems.
Well, I've never seen this country with such a seething, demonic, left-wing cult is what it has become. We've seen it come out. It is insane. We're talking unhinged, deranged,
it's the cult of them running our lives.
It's unreal, man. I've never seen this. I haven't been on your show for 4 years. During that time, we both supported Trump for president. We both tried to defend the republic this whole time. We both try to get people good nutrition so that they can be awake and aware. It's not even just about being healthy. It's about awakening your consciousness so you can even take in the truth. So
if you don't have iodine or vitamin C, you will die. And they're lowering it and everything on purpose and bombing you with a bad halogen. It's
slowly,
so simple.
And then you'll be on, well, first of all, before you die, they have to put you on pharmaceuticals. And then one leads to another one, which leads to another one, which leads to another one. So it's a slow death process. They want to take as much money. They want you to die broke. They want to take all the money from you because money is power.
And those of us that aren't like that don't get the demonic force and the energy of people that are vampiric, because they hate themselves so much. They want to hurt you, and you can't understand why they want to turn you against each other, why they want to, like the race garbage, and they literally are demons.
The most dangerous thing now is this idea that words that they don't like are weapons against them, justifying their physical violence against, conservative speakers, like Milo or Ann Coulter or you or whoever. They're calling for death threats against everybody they don't like because of their words. This is a very dangerous precedent. And actually, I said I wasn't going to talk about politics that much, but historically, this is a run-up. This narrative is a run-up to a true, actual communist attempt, kind of like the Cultural Revolution of
this
China,
is the exact formula of an authoritarian takeover.
It is. First, they start the narrative. They demonize people who defend the country. They demonize the family. They create infertility to get rid of those.
They tear down the old institutions?
Yes. Yes.
See, I used to even
and then they take away your guns
and blame the institutions instead of us not getting them back to the Constitution. I want to come back and do a few more minutes here and introduce Anthony Cumia on the other side, who hosts the Fourth Hour. We appreciate the great work he does at Compound Media. But I want to ask you guys one more question when we return. Everybody, this is life and death. It really is. That's why you got to spread the live links and tell folks about the local affiliates. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Cumia of CompoundMedia.com is going to take over right now. I wanted to get a final question into Dr. Group and, of course, the Health Ranger, Mike Adams. We know nationalism's back, populism, the family. We know we're under attack all over the world, from African countries, Latin American countries, to Europe, to you name it. People are understanding this global system is not free market. It's authoritarian. Soros admits today, that's up on Infowars.com, EU on the verge of breakdown because it's unelected. But we're just discovering there's a big global secret group. But what's their religion? What's their program? Well, it's eugenics. It's technocracy. It's total control of what we eat, where we sleep, what we do. And so I was asking you in closing, Mike Adams, to just recap where we are and then what the next level is and how we stop them, what they're targeting. And you said rural communities. I'm in the middle of a big city. I'm not judging you if you're... The point is they admit that. That's their plan. And the Dr. Group said Agenda 21.
Well, the biosludge issue is the mass poisoning of the countryside. It's taking all the pollution of cities, concentrating it, every heavy metal, every viral strain, every bacterial strain, and dumping it on the countryside. That's what biosludge is all about. We've got this documentary. It's coming up later this year. You can look at the preview at biosludge.com. It's going to be a free film. But this is just one vector of many. It's also the medicine vector. It's the food vector. It is also the psychic warfare, if you will, of the mainstream media. So they're attacking your mind while they're attacking your body, and they're attacking your reproductive organs. So that is really genocide, and they are, even their speech now is targeting specifically Christians, targeting specifically white people. You know, it's genocidal. We're targeting males.
It's literally beyond what the Soviets said when they were killing 20 million Christians in Ukraine and Poland and Russia. And the thing is, we're sitting here, it's all, and they're completely insane, but it's being directed by universities, by big banks. They don't like Christians, even if you're not a Christian, because they're not being controlled by them. They don't like families because they're a unit. They're not a cult. And it's insane to see this happening. Dr. Group?
No, I agree. And what's insane is when you look at in the grand scheme of things, and you look at the children and what's going on with the children, with the Common Core, with the massive amounts of vaccinations, with the mental health screenings. All of that is going on with us. But take that times 100 and look at what's happening to the children, the attack on the children right now. That is scary. And the good news is, though, parents are waking up. People are waking up. They are self-destructing. They are coming out with more fake news. The globalists are running scared right now. There's all kinds of indictments. There's whistleblowers coming out. You got QAnon out there, whoever that is, talking about stuff.
Gee, I wonder who.
Gee, I wonder who. So in all reality, you're having the message spread more and more. It's an all-on war right now.
Oh, and by the way, there are 3 new criminal investigations of the Clintons for the server, for Uranium One, and for the foundation. Almost no mainstream news coverage. It doesn't matter. Their asses are about to get indicted. This is real. They're going after him. Jeff Sessions has finally gotten a good kick in the pants. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I want you to, it's usually live, but let's go tape something for the War Room coming up with Owen, because I want you to get you guys on that show as well. I mean, the main show will be live, but maybe a 10-minute segment with you guys as well while you're here. And then let's also meet a little bit when I hand the baton over to Anthony Cumia. Normally I do eat my lunch when he's on and watch him, and I will after we're done with the meeting. But thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
We'll look it up in just a second. Anthony Cumia coming to us from an unknown location, my friend, of compoundmedia.com. We never get into this topic, you know, with you, but I wanted to get your view just briefly. What do you make of just the whole medical cartel, the whole medical tyranny? You know, there's all these other awakenings happening, and then separately, what are they going to do with the fake news awards that just happened that have just devastated them? Yet again, that the New York Times said Trump will never get us above 3% growth rate. That's now blown up in their face. I mean, everything they do turns to crap. So they turn the BS up to 11. That doesn't work. They turn it up to 22, then to 33. Now they're up to 10,000. It's not working. I'm just wondering where this is going next time. What's happening? Because I know you didn't used to call yourself probably a conservative. Neither did I. I'm a libertarian. Well, there's right-wingers that have got problems. But the left, as he was saying earlier, Mike Adams, is like completely psychotic now, and like a mix of Stalin meets Hitler meets PCP. How crazy will this get in your gut level assumption?
Just when you think maybe they're as crazy as they're gonna get, they just plow forward and go even more nuts. I'm relishing it. I am basking in watching them lose their minds. First of all, they've tried so hard to play Trump's game. You won't find anyone better at this than Donald Trump. And they're trying to use social media. They're trying to be funny at times. They're trying to be provocative. No one does that like Donald Trump can do it. And he is just wiping the floor with the media these days. And if he wasn't doing what he said he was going to do for this country, it would be so easy for them to turn around and go, well, your jokes and your provocative language and everything, but what are you doing for the country? And then you look around and see these unbelievable unemployment levels that haven't been seen in years, the job levels, I mean. And,
record low black unemployment, record unemployment for everybody, 26,000 stock market. And here's the deal. The Democrats and the globalists are running against prosperity, running against freedom, running against everything decent, and just flipping out. I mean, who knew they were really this psychotic and this bad? But I guess globalists had to hire American haters to run the screw job. And so they really hate this country and have a hard-on for it, even though it's where their kids go to school. And so they don't know what to do. They've gone psychotic.
This is absolutely the era where the cover is ripped off of everything. And it is because of Donald Trump being elected. We've seen Hollywood self-destruct, that glittering coating of glamour on Hollywood has been torn off, and we've seen the disgusting underbelly.
That's right. Tickets down another 4%. That's over 50% the last decade. It's all exactly as America re-rises, as it all begins to come back, all the enemies, the fake NFL, Hollywood, mainstream media, they're all imploding. Why do we see that paradox taking place? Because they could go along with the big win and be smart and try to sabotage it later? No, they want to beat it all now. So right during its resurgence, they want to try to kill it in the crib, they're destroying themselves. They don't know when to quit.
They absolutely don't. And on a daily basis, we see this on a day, sometimes an hourly basis. They trip over their own feet again. They eat each other. They realize that calling people racist, sexist, homophobes, Islamophobes doesn't work anymore. So they're turning around to their own people now and
because it only works on them. Their voodoo BS only works on them. Exactly. Yep. So then they're self-destructing their own because they want power. They got to dominate and run somebody in the ground and bully somebody so it doesn't work on us. So they turn on themselves.
We become empowered when we get called these things, and we don't turn around and say, hey, don't say that. We start up our own networks. We go out and you
had one of the #1 shows on terrestrial. They banned it. At times, #1 on XMs. They got jealous of you and got rid of you. We all know what really happened. And so you launch your own network. They force us to innovate with their own BS. We don't go crying. In fact, sometimes when I'm really tired, don't have energy, they try to shut me down or screw me over. Then I suddenly have this incredible energy. I'm like, whoa. So it's like the attacks are fueling us because we're not like them.
Yeah, thank God. You know, I can't imagine if you focus the energy of making signs and making vagina hats and traveling around to protest and cry. Instead, maybe build something, do something creative, something that will expose the truth. But it's a whole nother animal, and they are absolutely mentally ill.
All right, Anthony Cumia coming up. You got 20 seconds. Tell us what's coming up, my friend.
Oh, my God. We're going to talk about, of course, Hollywood, the S-hole controversy, and the medical report on Trump that just made the left and the media lose their minds.
We'll be back straight ahead. And then the war room after that in 40 minutes. Be part of the revolution. Please spread the links. The globalists are trying to censor us. Only you can block them. Only you can ram it up their keister.
INFOWARS Life Essentials Special, Survival Shield X2, Alpha Power, Secret 12, and Super Male Vitality, all 50% off. We're on the final days of our extended sales. Make sure you don't miss out on the insanely low prices at INFOWARS store before they're gone, including Survival Shield X2, Alpha Power, Secret 12, and Super Male Vitality, or the INFOWARS Life Essentials Pack, all 50% off. We're also excited to announce the new T-shirt of the month club. For only $19.95, you get an exclusive T-shirt from INFOWARS every ding-dong month. Sign up now and get your first shirt, the best-selling Won't Tread on Me shirt in limited edition red. Help support the show and make sure you get our revolutionary products at 50% off. These sales must go at the INFOWARS store before they go. But hurry. Survival Shield X2, Alpha Power, Secret 12, and Super Male Vitality are all on limited stock. Other specials include Cell Force, 50% off, The Real Red Pill, 50% off, Carnivore, and Flora Life, 33% off. Welcome, people. Welcome. Anthony Cumia in, of course, INFOWARS.com. A little raspy today. I think the longer you do shows at INFOWARS, the more you just start sounding like Alex Jones. I don't know what it is. I'm like, I woke up this morning, I got a cold and a sore throat, and I can't speak. But I will plow through, ladies and gentlemen. I have to get into this Donald Trump physical thing. Now, we have watched presidents over the entire course of presidency. I guess the presidents have had doctors. I'm sure George Washington said, my teeth hurt. Someone said, well, yank them out and stick some wood chips in there. And, from then on, I guess the presidents have had doctors. And we've heard the news on their medical checkups. Sometimes they find a little thing. Well, the president had to have something removed. Or I remember Ronald Reagan had colon polyps or something. It's always something. They're human beings, apparently. And but the news usually handles it. It's very as a matter of fact. It's one of those things that you don't even really pay attention to, or didn't pay attention to, until, of course, everything changed again with Donald Trump. I have never, in all my years of watching the news and watching our presidents over the course of the years, seen a hysteria over a 100% good medical report on a president. Have you ever? It's insanity. So the White House doctor with a bunch of medals, I don't know what those are all about. Hey, he gave someone a colonoscopy. Give him the Gold Colon Award. There he is. Well, it looks like a nice, respectable guy. So he does the examination on our president, Donald Trump, and finds 100% healthy. Of course, look, again, he's a human being. He could lose some weight. Who can't? He could exercise. Who shouldn't? These are such basic things. Remember when Bubba Clinton was in the White House, and he would walk down to the McDonald's and eat Big Macs and stuff. It was cute and quaint then. They're like, oh, look, he's a regular guy. He's a little dumpy. He likes McDonald's. He's just Bubba, a regular guy. Well, nowadays, oh, my God, that apparently is a death sentence. Again, 100% fine, mentally, physically, and mentally. He took a test for a mental acuity, and he scored 30 out of 30. I mean, I guess that's the best you could score on that test, which then leads the doctor to believe that no further mental testing is needed. But, oh my God, the media, I have never seen a group of people so angry that a president of the United States got a clean bill of health. They were hoping, and I'm not going overboard with this. They were literally hoping that something would come up that might trim down his term a few years, or make it impossible for him to run for a second term if he gets through this one. They started just lambasting this doctor with the most insane questions that you never heard any other president get. I don't think we saw this type of questioning when Reagan was shot. When Ronald Reagan got shot, I don't think the media was this frothing at the mouth insane to get questions out there. But there's Donald Trump as doctor, clean bill of health. And we got questions like, and I love how this exposed, agenda-driven left-wing media operates. They want to link Donald Trump to certain key words. That's what they do. So they sit there. It's his doctor giving his assessment of Donald Trump's physical and mental health. And the people in the audience, after hearing he's fine, nothing wrong, 100%, they put out words like dementia, Alzheimer's, cholesterol, heart disease. They throw it out there just to link it. And I believe CNN, just despicable. We'll talk about how they topped some of the president's fake news awards. You can't beat this guy. And they threw out, CNN said, I think it was Sanjay Gupta, asked the doctor about Trump's heart health. Said, how's his heart? Does he have heart disease? And the doctor says, no. And they get on and start saying, Sanjay asks president about, or asks doctor about president's heart disease. He asked him if he had any heart disease. The doctor said no. Aside from, his cholesterol, which he takes drugs for, I can't imagine almost half the country over the age of 45 doesn't have a cholesterol problem. And I would say 90%, I'm not even sure, I'm just guessing, but off the top of my head, I would have to assume that 90% of people that are in their 70s might have some type of artery cloggage in some way, shape, or form. Trump is 71 years old. He'll be 72 in June. This is a dynamo. To see a guy run around like he does, work the hours he works, multitask, and getting things done at his age is astounding. This is the age a mere few years ago, really, when you think about it, was you were waiting to die. This was every relative you went over to visit that was sitting on a chair in the corner that no one paid attention to, just waiting for them to die. But the media cannot take that he is of sound mind and body, and it's killing them. It's killing them. We'll be back in moments. Don't go anywhere. Anthony Cumia in at INFOWARS.com. Welcome back. Anthony Cumia in at INFOWARS.com. And, I remember a time with the news, and especially news about the president. And again, right up until the Donald Trump presidency, and probably even the Trump candidacy, when he declared he wanted to be president, this whole thing started. But before that, remember these days, there would be times that would actually stretch days, sometimes even a week, where you never even heard a story about the president. He would go somewhere, be doing things. You wouldn't hear about a bill or the fact that he's vacationing. It was just one of those weeks where he was doing nothing, just nothing. And then a week would go by, and you'd turn on the news, and they'd be like, the president returned from Camp David today. And you'd be like, oh, right, that guy, the president. And that was usually how the news covered the president. When important things are going on, he was rotated quite often in the news cycle. But when nothing was really going on, the president would disappear from the news for at least a few days. And then the president was on the Hill today talking with lawmakers about, the president, that guy. Have you ever seen, I haven't, that's why I brought it up, a news cycle that is so fixated on this president that it is, I used to say daily, a daily occurrence. It is an hourly occurrence. Every hour, the story will be regurgitated, or a new story comes up, a new allegation, a new Trump said something. I have never seen, and they say that at least 93%, maybe 98%, as high as that, of the coverage is negative coverage on this president. But the sheer coverage alone is insane. The obsession that this media has with this president, and not the accomplishments. We've heard about the accomplishments of late. This president is doing an amazing job, especially here at home. America first. That's what he promised. And we're seeing an economy that is robust. Momentum is building. Again, the market tops another record, breaks 26,000 yesterday, and unemployment at record lows in some of the demographics, a low that has never been seen since they've been keeping records. African-American unemployment, which has been a problem for decades in this country, is at record lows. And they cannot comment on it. Mainstream media cannot bring themselves to comment on this. And I assure you, if this was Barack Obama, we would be having this thrown in our face every day as to how amazing this president was doing. But it's a guy they just don't like. They don't like Donald Trump. They don't like what they believe he stands for. So many ists and isms and phobes that they throw behind this president. And meanwhile, they're missing the most important things, more important than name calling or using a dirty word. Ooh, grab my pearls. Oh, the important thing that people are going back to work, that people are making money, the tax cuts. Again, I have never seen in my life something signed and results coming out of it as quickly as I have with Trump's tax plan. We are seeing huge companies returning to the United States, repatriating money to the likes of 38, I believe it was $38 billion that Apple is bringing back to this country from foreign banks because the tax rate is lower. They can afford to bring money back. 20,000 new jobs coming back to the United States. How is this $350 billion? Apple announced repatriate 350. I said 38. What am I talking about? 350 billion in the next U.S. The economy over the next 5 years. 38 billion on taxes. Right there it was. But it's insane that this isn't the news. They jump out of their seats to ask Trump's doctor if he wears dentures or if he's got a peanut allergy. They can't get out of the seat quick enough. Excuse me, doctor. I heard him mispronounce a word. What's that all about? And we have companies all over this country giving bonuses to employees, incentives, matching programs in their 401ks, all because of the tax plan that Trump signed. And the media, where's the media? They're too busy saying that he used the S word, a crap hole, we'll say here, in Haiti and in other some countries in Africa. They're too busy saying that. Meanwhile, the hypocrisy flows out of that one because you will never see one of these people set foot in one of the countries that Donald Trump has dubbed a crap hole. Allegedly, by the way, dubbed a crap hole. But they instead of the real the real issue here, that Haiti is indeed a festering wound on the face of the earth, that maybe they should address it. No, they'd rather call out the president for giving a pretty accurate description of Haiti. And then you have the Clintons, who with their wonderful Clinton Foundation was supposed to contribute money and construction and help after the earthquake years ago and help rebuild Haiti. Well, that money never made it to where it was supposed to go. I don't know why that isn't under the scrutiny of the media. It is under the scrutiny of INFOWARS and Compound Media and some of the other more honest outlets out there. But they won't address that. The fact that Chelsea Clinton's wedding was financed through the Clinton Foundation, their beautiful dress, I'm sure it was a lavish, very expensive wedding. You can literally take a picture of a starving, impoverished Haitian child and put it next to Chelsea Clinton in her wedding dress. And that person absolutely took the food out of that child's mouth to give her a wedding, to give her a wedding dress. Why isn't that? Why isn't that the news? I don't know. They'd rather talk about Trump's language and that he's obscene and that perhaps he enjoyed the company of women years ago. Yeah, Haiti helped pay for your wedding. She rebuked, of course. They've learned to lie. They have learned to lie at a very young age, the Clintons. And man, I can only imagine if Hillary was elected. Oh, I shudder at the thought. Imagine a reporter from a conservative news agency standing up and questioning her weight, questioning her health, asking about her sanity. They wouldn't even question it when she was falling down on the ground and had to be lifted into a van during the campaign. The media was silent, never asking her about what happened, why that happened to her, how she feels, her coughing fits. I mean, if this happened to Donald Trump, you would say he needed to be removed from office because he's not fit to serve, yet they never said a thing. Unbelievable. We'll be right back with INFOWARS after this. Alexa Pure Breeze air purifiers, $50 off with free shipping for a limited time only at InfoWarsStore.com. The air in your home, filled with dust, bacteria, allergens, and viruses. But with the revolutionary air purification system, the Alexa Pure Breeze, you can remove up to 99.97% of airborne toxins and contaminants in your home. The Alexa Pure Breeze has been a game changer since it came out a couple of years ago. Comparable units cost as much as $800, but we're bringing it to you for a special $50 off with free shipping. You'll know it's working to clean your air when you see the light change. With this simple product, you can finally breathe easy in your own home without having to suffer through toxins. The Alexa Pure Breeze is a necessity for any clean home. Get yours today at InfoWarsStore.com to get it for $50 off with free shipping included for a limited time only. Welcome back, Anthony Cumia, InfoWars.com. You can find me on CompoundMedia.com from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Thursday. And I thank Alex Jones for this forum. Years ago, I swear, you could find, I used to be on the Opie and Anthony show, and years ago, we would play clips of Alex, and I loved him. And I would sit there and just go, oh my God, this guy's out of his mind. I gotta be serious. I would say this guy's out of his mind. Man, were my eyes slammed shut. As the years went by, you realize, oh, Alex Jones has had his eyes open for years. There he is. For years. And everything that's coming to fruition were things he was talking about years ago. And it's amazing. And I'm privileged to be asked to come on here every couple of weeks and do an hour on Infowars.com. Hollywood. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hollywood. Remember when Hollywood was glamorous? Remember? I do. I'm no kid. I remember years ago. It was glitter, glamour. It was called Tinseltown. It was an amazing place. We had stars. These were celebrities, stars, movie stars that were not accessible to mere mortals like us. You didn't have access. You couldn't tell Cary Grant that his movie sucked. You couldn't do that. Hey, Cary Grant, your movie sucks. You couldn't do that. He would just all day think, everybody loves me. I'm Cary Grant, and I am amazing. You'd have to write a letter. Dear Cary Grant, your movie sucks. Get an envelope. Figure out where to even mail the damn thing to. Cary Grant, care of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. And he would never see it. Somebody would open his mail and go, oh, someone thinks Cary Grant sucks. Yeah, we ain't give. Why would we give that? Why would you give me this letter? I don't suck. I'm amazing. But that was old school Hollywood. No accessibility. The cover was on. There was just as much debaucherous crap going on back then. Of course there was. But it was kept under wraps, I guess. We didn't have access to it. We went to movies, and it was an amazing new world. And when we saw these celebrities on talk shows, it was so special to see them in an element out of the movie, actually being themselves. Now all we see are their detached opinions on life and how we all should live it. That is Hollywood now. The cover, thank God, has been ripped off. And we have seen the disgusting, putrid underbelly of what goes on in that town, Tinseltown. We've seen so much from the sexual harassment and actual physical abuse allegations that have come out of late. And of course, again, the progressives, the liberals, the left, Democrats, celebrity, whatever you want to call it, has again kicked themselves in the ass on this one. They had some momentum going. You had Harvey Weinstein, which from the looks of it was an actual case of a man using his vast power and wielding it to get sex from women in exchange for careers. We had a few other people. What's his face there? Where is he? From yeah. Well, we've had a few people that have lost their careers because of sexual allegations. But then we have this Aziz Ansari story come out. I guess this woman, her name is Abby Neerman. Is that it? She went anonymous for a while, but screw that. She doesn't deserve to have anonymity if she's going to come out and crucify someone. I am anything but an Aziz Ansari fan. Believe me. When I had my little tiff with Jon Stewart at the Comedy Cellar, Aziz was sitting at the table, at John's table, waiting for him to come back, talk about how cool it was that he was screaming and ready to fight with me, the ist and ism and phobe that I am. Ugh. Bunch of beta men sitting in a corner. Shut up. So this Abby girl decides she's going to document a date that she had with Aziz. And it sounds like just an awkward, crappy date. As it sounds like. The guy was probably a little overzealous. She was giving off signals that absolutely said that she wanted to have sexual relations with this gentleman. They're nude in his apartment. She's performing certain acts on him. He's doing the same to her. And then when the whole thing ends, the next day, she starts talking about how she felt odd, didn't feel good about it. It was awkward and troubling. And she had to, and this is it, ask her friend. She had to ask her friend if she was sexually abused. I think you know. I got to be honest. I think you know. You don't have to ask your friend. From all accounts, her accounts, by the way, as put on babe.com, again, she was anonymous at the time. It sounded like two people that had an agenda. Hers to get close to Aziz, a rich and famous comic, and his, which was to have sex with a girl he met at a club. They both had things they wanted to come out of that evening. He worked on what he wanted to work on, and she, by showing up at his apartment, worked on what she wanted to work on, getting to know him. Now, he's another one of these, like I said, beta men who probably never was able to get a girl in his life until he got a lot of money and some fame. And that awkwardness and lack of what we like to call game, ladies, was glaring that evening. I hear tell he put his fingers down her throat in a move that she called the claw. The claw. And then used her saliva for things, is what I hear. Look, things happen on dates when you're being intimate, and they don't need to be splashed out into the public like this. And I believe he was dealt a disservice here by Abby Nierman and Babe.com, because this amounts to nothing but two people awkwardly pawing at each other in an apartment. And again, I believe this will be looked at as the beginning of the end for Me Too. Me Too. Which I have to give comic Owen Benjamin a credit for this one. He goes, hashtag Me Too. He goes, isn't that literally pound me too? Which is pretty damn funny. And time's up. I got my time's up button on. But again, something that may have started out as a noble cause. I don't think anybody can disagree that men wielding their power in exchange for sexual favors by women who would never consent to it, and in exchange for money, jobs, roles in Hollywood, we all know that's bad. But again, they take it to the umpteenth level of ridiculousness and allow a woman to anonymously detail a horrible date with somebody who's obviously a little sexually awkward. But that's Hollywood. Thank you, Alex Jones, for allowing me to spend some time here on INFOWARS.com. Again, I have a